Hey guys, so we're back for another edition of Stocks by Request. In the video that I posted just a few hours ago, I talked about Metro Pacific Investment. So if you have not watched that yet, just go back to the video prior to this if you want an analysis of MPI. I also posted videos on URC, Jollibee, and also Max just a few days ago, so you get to reference that and see that in terms of your analysis. So again, if you're new to this channel, this Stocks by Request session is the top stocks that you guys requested over my website, over Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc. If there was Friendster, I would have made another stocks by request also there for Friendster. But again, and I've been saying this in all of the videos that I've been creating, the heart and the goal of this is basically not to give you stock picks. The heart and the goal of this is to give you analysis so you get to trade the market with conviction, because I'm not here to give you fish. I'm giving you the ability to catch fish on your own, because it's easier to give fish, it's harder to teach people how to actually do it. And that's what we're doing here. I want you guys to learn as much as possible. I want you guys to use this lockdown for you to be able to build skills on how you can trade the markets with confidence, because at the end of the day, if you're confident and you know what you're getting into, no matter what the condition is, you will remain calm, you will remain poised, you will remain unfazed, because you have a plan, you have a strategy. And that's what stock investing really is. It's all about following your strategy and double downing on that. So the next stock that I would like to talk about for this video, and you saw it already, the thumbnail, obviously, and the title is GT Capital. A lot of you guys requested this, and this was also requested by so many times by Justin K. Angeles. So she messaged me in YouTube. She also messaged me on Instagram. So she's very, very persistent. So ganun lang also. The more persistent you are, the more I guess I get to see it, and the more I get to analyze the stocks that you guys have requested. So if you guys have GT Capital, or you guys want me, or you're planning to at least buy GT Capital, then this video is for you. You may also, I'm giving this time, we're at the 2 minute mark, and giving this time also for you guys to put a comment on the stocks that you want me to analyze. Just comment the stock, then hashtag stocks by request. Then put it in the comment section. I'm gonna do videos off of that as well. So a couple of things, just so at least people, you don't just see the ticker, when it comes to the stock. As you all know, GT Capital is exposed in banking, care of Metro Bank, and also, as you also know, Metro Bank also has an asset management. That's where their mutual funds are. It's a very, very large asset management company. Then they also have shares in Toyota as well. Uh, aside from Toyota, so if you look at the main chunk, no, of their earnings, majority of the earnings of GT Capital is either Metro Bank or Toyota. And of course, they have a real estate arm as well, but a big chunk of their earnings is pretty much their bank and Toyota. And if you try to segment everything, no, uh, we are in a pandemic. So one of the things that you will notice is when there's a lot of fear also, and then there's fear also that people may lose their jobs, and there's also fear that earnings are not as good. One of the one of the things that people will skimp off on are their high ticket purchases. And one of the high ticket purchases, in my opinion, is a car. So if you're thinking about, fundamentally speaking, who will have a direct impact on this, I think Toyota will have a big impact. However, here's the advantage of Toyota: they're still the market leader. So most likely, if people will skimp off, they will skimp off on the other brands, or because they would want to go for something also more reliable. They would go for something that, if I have almost the same amount of money, mas mura parts ng Vios versus, I guess, getting an Accent, or uh, getting a Lancer, something like that. And there's just something about Toyota that the maintenance is cheaper, that the parts are cheaper also. And in times like this, people might be sensitive on that. Now, in terms of banks, no, I've mentioned this already in the previous videos. That you all know that Metro Bank is a big part of GT Capital. But uh, again, if there's a lot of fear, some businesses won't expand. Since they won't expand, there might be a drop on loan growth in terms of that. Ganun din sa houses, and ganun din if they don't buy cars, people people who would buy cars, majority of them would take out a loan for the car. If they're not buying cars, and guess what? The loan growth for cars won't be also there. Then ganun din sa houses. If a lot of people are fearful, they're not gonna buy houses, they're not gonna buy condos as well. Then that means that it will directly impact the loans of Metro Bank. And if you add more things to the mix, one of the things that I'd like to submit to all of you as well is this: there might be some defaults. I mentioned this in several videos already, in the Pag-ibig video and in the other videos where I talked about banks. There might be some defaults, and of course, if individuals, institutions slash corporations default, again, it would also impact their bottom line. Or should there be a not amnesty, but a delay on payments? I think they already made that some credit cards and some loans, people are not obliged to pay that during the lockdown period. So again, that those things will impact also the income of Metro Bank as well. Anyways, whatever happens to those, please remember, sentiment to those companies greatly impact also sentiment to the mother company as well. But now let's go to the charts. The difference between GT Capital, now for those who are new to the markets, I've showed you different charts of Jollibee, URC. Uh, what else did I show you? Then the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, also MPI. Those companies have been there for a very, very long period of time. GT Capital, if you look at the chart, it IPO'd just around 20, I think 2013, if I'm correct, or 2012. So if you notice it, the chart that I'm showing here is just an 8-year chart. And what's so interesting about that is this. If you notice the support level that we have here, if I remember the IPO, GT Capital IPO at around 450 pesos per share, if I remember it properly, or I could be wrong, but I remember it at that time it was around that price. Intraday, no, during the large sell-off that happened, uh, GT Capital's stock price went below the 300 peso mark. So that's what's interesting about this sell down. I've said this in a lot of videos that the sell down for for what's happening in the markets right now, it was steeper, faster, and it's different from what was happening in 2008. In 2008, it dropped massively also, but it wasn't as fast as this. It wasn't as pronounced as this as well. Anyways, showing you the charts though, you already can, if you plot a line here, you would already know that from here, the area that supported GT Capital in 2012 is the area also that's trying to protect it, trying to hold it, uh, trying to, uh, trying to push its way up to protect the stock. So if I zoom in, just looking at the support level, you will see that one of the reasons why it's hovering, one of the reasons why, that's how amazing technical analysis is, no? uh, Everything is just plotted by past prices, everything is just plotted by numbers, and the support that we had in 2012 is what's protecting it. And if you notice it here, the consolidation is happening just right here, just where the support level is, the support level that we had more than 8 years ago. And that's why I love technicals, and that's why I don't need to really look for gossip. That's why I don't need to look for rumors, because everything is found here. Everything can be analyzed here. That being said, from a trend perspective, and if you notice it, they all look the same. The size of the movements down and how long it is, iba-iba sila. But if you notice it, from Jollibee to Max to URC, uh, to all of the stocks that I've been showing you the past few days, they all have this. They're all in massive, 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 massive downtrends. If you're super strict in connecting this, let me just try to fix this for you guys. So I'll fix this. Wait lang. Uh, so if I try to connect the highs together, oops, sorry, what's happening to me? Anyways, there. So if I'll try to connect this is one very, very this is the highs, this is the highs, connecting them together. That's your downtrend. Anyways, so if you notice all of the examples that I gave you, majority of them are in downtrends. But aside from that, if you try to plot something here, I try to put a support level here. It's almost the same thing. What do I mean by that? Number one, the stock is still on a downtrend. Number two, it broke down from a support. Support meaning a long-term support. If you notice it here, This 636 level is also a support that protected it last October 2018 to where it is right now. It tried to attack it last March 4, but if you notice what happened, the progression, the 2 year support did not hold and it got broken. And as what I've been mentioning in the previous videos, when a long term support gets hit, either two things will happen. If it bounces, the bounce is very, very strong, or the other side will happen. A stock hits a very, very long term support. As it hits that long term support, it breaks down. And when it breaks down, a very, 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 very massive downtrend or massive breakdown will also happen as well. So as you can see here, that's what happened here. Intraday drop 50 plus percent. If you notice it here, uh, to where it started to consolidate, it also dropped around 37 plus percent. So context, large support was broken, you saw the large downside. Context, prior to all of this, prior to the coronavirus, the stock, GT Capital, was already in a downtrend. So that being said, and I've been saying this over and over and over, if you're talking about stocks that are in downtrends, the name of the game basically is this. A stock that's in a downtrend will continue to go in a downward fashion no matter what happens, no matter what you think will happen. It will just continue to go in its trajectory. So you should not be surprised why GT Capital continued to go down because it was really bearish already to begin with. It was already in a downtrend to begin with. It's just that whatever you saw in the coronavirus, it accelerated things as well. So if there were companies that were not in downtrends that fell down, if there were companies that were sideways that fell down even more, how much more stocks that were in downtrends to begin with? Now, that being said, again, I mentioned this already, 636 was broken. Number two, look at all of the moving averages. Short, mid, long-term moving averages are still currently bearish. And if you've been following all of the videos that I've been showing lately, it's very, very clear that this area is showing you that, hey, it's somehow, I'll zoom in, consolidating also. It's very, very clear in that context that it's already starting to consolidate. So that being said, the consolidation range here is around 387 to around 450. This entire consolidation range started since March 20 to where we are right now. So similar to MPI, it's also a 3 week consolidation. This is around 18.5. So for those who bought here, if GT Capital does not break this level, this 452 level, then most likely similar to my other examples, you could just possibly know that, hey, this will just again move sideways again and just continue its consolidation pattern. If you notice it, this is still noting this change of direction that's happening here. And as you do note, the change of direction is still pretty much consistent that it's still in a downtrend. So that's basically it's still consolidating into a short-term sideways market that where it's consolidating into the lows, which came from a very, very large and very, very strong downtrend as well. So that's the main context of GT Capital. So I hope you're getting this. I hope that this is something that's helping you as I start to analyze more of these stocks as well. So that's what we're seeing. GT Capital main trend is still down, but it's consolidating on its lows with a range of 388.6 to a resistance of 450.7. So that's how you could spin it for the short term tradable range. 389 support, resistance 450 as your target price. So 388 target price 450, that's the progression. Another thing that you could also note that it's very close to the resistance already. If you look at the 20-day moving average, GT Capital is very, very close to that as well. What do I mean, and how do you spin this? How do you analyze it? Just one simple way to look at it. If you look at if you look at it, it's close already to the resistance at 450, and it's already close also to the 20-day moving average. So a couple of things. If you like to make this a very, very strict analysis, your conditions for a breakout should be it breaks past this 20-day moving average plus it breaks out of this. Then possible target price for that, you could either segment the 50-day moving average or this. So let's just say I want to use this resistance that I plotted out. It's still a 41% upside. If you want to use the 20 to 50-day moving average, it's still also a 40% upside as well. So that being said, that's how you could spin it, that's how you could analyze it, that's how you could also trade it, that you look at it from that perspective. Please remember that the stock opened at 405, it went up to 430. This is still a very, very fundamentally sound company, still one of the biggest and one of the largest companies also. So there, again, major trend still down. All of the moving averages are still bearish. There's no reversal signal, a full reversal signal as of this point in time. But what we do know from the charts is it's consolidating. What we do know from the charts is that it's forming a base at the 390 peso level. So there. Comment below if you guys have any stock by request. Comment below if you guys have other questions that you guys want me to analyze as well. If there's anything that I've missed out here, put them on the comment section. I'll try to make a video off of that. Before I continue with the video, and I've been saying this in the previous videos, super appreciate it, guys, if you could subscribe to my channel. My first channel. We're very, very close to 100,000 subscribers. It would be amazing to see a stock market Filipino channel hit 100,000. It just means a lot, and it just goes to show that we are growing already as a nation, also in terms of financial literacy. Then I have a second channel called Stock Investing Made Easy. Link is in the description below. It's basic infographics for people who want to start investing in the markets as well. Then all of my books are in the description below, and also my online courses with Chinkitan and Sean C. They're all in the description. You can just click them if you want to learn more about the basics of stock investing and entrepreneurship. The whole goal of those videos and the books is to help you as well. So there. There are a lot of questions whether I think the this crash is over and then we're gonna start to go up now. The thing about that is this. The reason why I love using technicals is it's never about forecasting. It's never about predicting. It's never about guessing. It's all about looking at the charts for where it is. It's all about analyzing the charts from the numbers and the signals that I have. Technical analysis basically is risk management. Technical analysis is if your signals get hit, you buy. If it doesn't get hit, you avoid. If it gets hit, you buy. But if it turns the other direction in a couple of days, either you sell at a profit or you sell at a loss. And that's something that works for me. There could be other types of strategies. There could be other types of analysis that works also, but I can only share to you guys what works for me. So I don't forecast, I don't predict, I don't try to guess. I just take everything from what the charts for what it is. And again, I'll say this over and over. If there's one thing that I'd like to impart to you is I hope that you get the skill or the logic behind the way I analyze. Because if you know how to do it, you don't need me anymore. You'll be able to trade on your own. And for me, that's all I want. To be honest, I want you guys to even do better than me. I want your trades to be much, much better because that's what makes me uh, that's what makes me happy. That's the whole context of all of this. Uh, people, I'm not, I'm just here as I'm just a stock trader that wants to share his ideas to the world. I'm just a stock trader who, I don't know. It's just been a blessing over the past decade or so that above and beyond me investing, I just want to bring more people onto this ride because it's fun. It's fun that you get to bring people up as well. It's fun that you get to take people up and bring them higher, get them to see things that they've never seen before. And yun, we're a month into the lockdown. I hope that most of you, a lot of you have taken the time to also learn, taken the time to build your skill, taking the time to learn more about charting and investing. So I guess that's it for now. Thank you so much to everyone who stayed up until the end. And this is Marvin Germo, hoping no that this video is something that adds tremendous value to you. And I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.